Hey guys, Ultimate Deadpool here. So, a little bit of info for you guys, real quick. Um, I have not been doing any stop motion related videos in quite a while because I've been busy, um, learning uh, about these four characters in front. Now, I know before anybody says there are five characters, but the one on the end is not a real character. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So another reason why I haven't uploaded any stop motions is because I'm actually waiting for Halloween to get by. I have way too many things to do before that particular day, and YouTube is going to stop me from doing that because I have way too much stuff to do. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I have not done anything stop motion related in a for quite some time. So hopefully this video will give you guys a little bit of insight on what's to come. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into things. Okay, so these are actual characters, believe it or not. So these are actually the original Ghostbusters. You got Winston, Ray, Egon, and Peter. So if you're wondering why the hell they're in different outfits, it's because these are, to the best of my knowledge, the only Lego real Ghostbusters. Now, for those of you who are going to be like, Ultimate Deadpool, they did make 3 Lego sets that were Ghostbusters, 2 from the 80s and 1 from the 2000s, or at least 1 or 2 from the 2016s. Yeah, that is true. Those are based off of the films, but in the shortly after the Ghostbusters movie came out, like a year to 6 months later, they started a TV show called The Real Ghostbusters. And the reason why they had to call it that was because I don't remember, something about the name being used for another show that came out around the same time. So they had to call it The Real Ghostbusters, so that way people knew which one was, based off the movie and which one wasn't. So, and the reason why they have each individual or different color hairs and costumes was because it was a lot easier to market toys to. And it was made them stand out as individual characters more, so they changed Egon's hair from being, like a blackish brown color to blonde. They made Ray redhead, and then they turned Peter to a more brown-haired color. But and then each Ghostbuster got their own different uniform. Winston got a very teal type blue. Ray essentially got the same costume that he had originally. Egon had the light bluish gray, and then Peter got the all brown jumpsuit as well. So the show ran for about 7 seasons. Most of the episodes are free to watch on YouTube. If I could find an entire playlist, I would put it in the link below, but unfortunately there is no such thing. So, but you can buy most of the show on eBay for about $60 for 10 volumes, which is most of the show. Now, they do have the entire show, but it's like $300 to $400 because of a special unique pack that it came in. So that's very hard to find. So, like I said, these are based off the original Real Ghostbusters cartoon. I can't remember all the actors who played in it, but there were 2 different actors who played Winston, 2 different actors who played Peter, and Egon. I can't remember who voiced them, but then you have Frank Welker, Fred Jones, and Scooby-Doo himself, as well as Megatron, Slimer, and a whole bunch of other characters. He voiced Ray Stantz and Slimer and a whole bunch of other characters in the Real Ghostbusters cartoon. And then you have Lorenzo Music, who played Garfield, as well as a ton of other characters as well. Voiced Peter Venkman through 2 seasons of the Real Ghostbusters. And then Dave Coulier, I probably mispronounced your name, dude, from Full House, Joey from Full House, voicing Peter for the remaining 5 seasons of the show. So the show, I've watched almost all of the episodes of the show. I have a good majority of the episodes on DVD. I do not have all of them, like I mentioned earlier. And it's a really good show. Definitely worth looking into if you're a Ghostbusters fan. They have a lot of really good episodes. Honestly, I can honestly say that there weren't any moments in the show when I'm like, okay, this was just a really bad episode. I mean, they have their weaker episodes, but the whole show in general, from what I've seen, is actually pretty damn good. So, if you're interested in it, I'll put a link in the description below if you guys want to try to buy the entire show. I'm pretty sure you can get it on Amazon Prime as well. In that case, you can actually rent it, so it's at least a little bit cheaper. But anyway, so I'm getting too far into the Real Ghostbusters cartoon as a whole. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the minifigures. Now, these are all basically the same design, just like in the cartoon show. They really only changed the color of the designs, or colors of the suits, to match each individual Ghostbuster. So first up is Peter. So you can't really see it because it's on camera very well, but it does say Venkman on his uniform, just like it should. The proton packs in the show have 3 red lights, and they're a little bit more simple, so that way it was easier for the animators to draw it, and it saved them a little bit of time animating drawing everything. They have elbow pads on their elbows, just like they do in the show, and then they have the Ghostbusters logo on the right arm. And then when you take the proton pack off, it's just a simple Ghostbuster design that the official Legos Ghostbusters had. And this is actually the same proton pack build that the Ghostbusters Firehouse and Ecto-1 came with. No, these are not the exact same proton packs. I built these out of spare parts that I had. So that's kind of what the proton packs looked like in the 1980s Ghostbusters show. So to give you guys a little bit of insight on what that kind of looked like, I'm not going to show the proton packs on any of the other characters, nor the back prints of the characters, because they are all the exact same. So I used Anakin Skywalker Padawan, or not Padawan, Jedi, like pre-Jedi, yeah, it is Padawan, face for Peter, because for me, I think that definitely matches Peter Venkman's look from the Real Ghostbusters cartoon show, especially with the double-sided face. Peter, if you don't know, in the show is always getting harassed by Slimer, so I figured that this face would work perfectly for that. So then you also have his, sarcastic, smart-ass looking face, which, if you ask me, totally works with this particular head. So that's Peter Venkman, by far my favorite character of all the Ghostbusters. Next up, we're going to go ahead and do Ray, so voiced by Frank Welker in the Real Ghostbusters. Now, Ray and Peter, at the moment, are the only ones who have the neutrino wands for the proton packs, or the cables with the gun. So at some point, Egon and Winston will have them as well, but for the time being, it's just going to be Ray and Peter. So Ray has, oddly enough, the same head that the official Legos Ray has, because that totally fits Ray's character in the Real Ghostbusters cartoon. And then it also has the oh shit, face as well. I used a red, I can't remember what particular hairstyle this is called, But I used like a orangish Ron Weasley style hairpiece. Oh, it's not Ron Weasley, but it's the same color that they use for Ron. He has a blacked out name tag because I didn't feel like making actual name tags for everybody. The same exact arm prints, or same exact arm prints as Peter, except in the dark sand tan color. Then, like I said earlier, all the proton packs and stuff are the same, so I'm not even going to bother going with those. Next up, we've got... let's go ahead and do Winston. Winston's pretty cool. So, next up, we got Winston Zeddemore. One of my personal favorite Ghostbusters, because I would be him in that scenario. I wouldn't know a shit about ghosts. So, Winston's was actually one of the hardest characters I've ever had to do. Believe it or not, because his suit color in the real Ghostbusters cartoon is very hard to find in Lego, because they changed the tone of the of his uniform many times throughout the show. Like, sometimes it appears darker, sometimes it appears lighter, sometimes it appears, midway. So it's very hard, and this is the case for all of the Ghostbusters. So, there are times when, Ray's suit looks more high tan color. There are some times when it appears in this darker color. The only one that really stays consistent is Peter. So that's kind of funny. But other than that, all the other three Ghostbusters, their uniforms change in colors and variants and everything else. So it was also done in the 80s, and it was hand-drawn. So, I guess they have to do what they have to do to keep a schedule. So, in the cartoon, Winston does not have a mustache, just like he didn't have a mustache in Ghostbusters 2, the movie. So, I used the Falcon hairpiece and then War Machine's face. Now, Winston in the show is a very happy character, and unfortunately this face doesn't exactly work for him, so I may change his face at some point. But for now, this is the best that I can do. Just like Ray, he does not have a name tag. And before anybody says anything, the only reason why Peter says Venkman on it is because that's what the template had. And that's just, again, I didn't feel like going over it again, because you wouldn't see it. You're not going to see it anyway. So, again, just like Peter and Ray, Winston has the same Ghostbusters arm prints, body prints, and backpack and everything. So, like I was saying earlier, Winston was very hard to get the color right, simply because they always changed it in the show. It was never consistent, but that's just because of animating problems and trying to keep up a schedule, if I'm not mistaken. So, this is the best color I could find. This is the same color I used for Skeletor from Masters of the Universe. And I personally think it works really well for Winston. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And let me know if you guys have seen the real Ghostbusters cartoon, or if you even know what the hell it is, or what I'm talking about. So next up, we have Egon, another one of my... Actually, now that I think about it, I do like all of the Ghostbusters just about evenly. But Egon is definitely my least favorite of the group, because he's smart and I'm not. So, Egon was another one of those characters that was a pain in the ass to find the exact same color that they used in the show, because Egon and Winston were by far the hardest characters to get an exact color match on, simply because their colors changed throughout the show way too many times. Sometimes it would be bright, sometimes it would be dark, and it was mostly consistent with Egon, but there were a lot of moments when it was a different shade, and for somebody like me, that is a pain in the ass to do. So, right off the bat, when Egon has the exact same hairpiece that he had for the official Legos Ghostbusters, and the exact same face, except he has red glasses in the cartoon and not black glasses like Harold Ramis had in the Ghostbusters movie. Just like Ray and Peter, or Ray and everybody else, he does not have a name tag because you're not going to really see it on camera. He has the same arm prints, and that's basically it. I can't remember exactly what shade of blue this is. I want to say it's like a dark, light grayish blue. I'm not exactly sure what the color is. I'm sure somebody will let me know down in the comment section below. But that's pretty much it. I mean, at some point I would love to have, Slimer and a whole bunch of other characters. So that way I could do a Ghostbusters movie. But nothing is confirmed yet, so don't start freaking out. Oh my god, he's going to do a Ghostbusters film. That's not happening just yet. If I can get some ghosts and a good story down, then maybe I'll do a Ghostbusters movie. What I really want to do is put the Ghostbusters in other situations, like have, the Ghostbusters meet, Transformers, have them meet Knight Rider, have them meet the Avengers, have them meet the Ninja Turtles, weird stuff like that. Because that's just my weird, twisted sense of humor. Which I think would work beautifully for the show, or for this channel, but that's just me. So that's basically it. I mean, all of these guys are basically the exact same. The only difference is their colors. And their faces are as close to what I think they should be from the cartoon as best as possible. So, let's go ahead and get on to the last character. Okay, now this is not a real Ghostbuster, as you can tell. But this is my personal belief of what Dan Aykroyd originally wanted the Ghostbusters to look like. Because I saw the original concept arts for Ghostbusters, and they were originally called Ghost Smashers, believe it or not. And they did not have actual proton packs. They had these black disc things on their back that had wires going through their shirts or through their uniforms and on or around their sleeves and into their hand or into their gloves. And it was basically like an antenna thing so they would use their hands kind of like in a fist motion, and they would use those as the proton streams. So, thank God they changed it, because that would have been very weird to see everybody with their hands out looking like Superman, shooting lasers off. But, based off just the concept art, this is what I think the Ghostbusters were originally supposed to look like. Now, they did have helmets. In the original sketch, they were like welding helmets or something like that, or blast shields or whatever for like SWAT armor. But I didn't have any of those, so I just put a black hairpiece on. So this character does still have the Ghostbusters logo on it. They have the Ant-Man style arms. So this is actually the modified Ant-Man arms that I used for characters like Inferno, Gravity Man. Most of the Gravity Man characters and stuff like that have the same exact design. So this is the same Moon Knight body, yada yada yada. You guys have heard that story before. Then his back is actually a knockoff Lego Proton Pack mold that Lego seriously needs to hurry up and consider. Except if Lego ever watches this video, don't do this stupid stud piece here. Just have it to where you can put like little Lego studs or something on it. Or hell, even just print it on there. Don't have this big ass stud piece here. I know why the company who made this did that. It was to give you the option of putting a disc on there and having the red lights and stuff. I understand that, but just don't. If Lego ever does something like this, don't do something quite like that. Don't have that big stud piece on there, because that just looks stupid, if you ask me. So this character has a back. Now, the backpack from what I can tell on the original concept, it was basically like having a disc like this on your back, except a little bit smaller than that. So that for me just didn't really work, and originally this wasn't supposed to be like that, but there's like a yin and yang orange and red or orange and blue logo up here, and then the straps then connect to the arms, which then would shoot out the particle beams through the gloves. So that's kind of what this is supposed to represent. So if he doesn't have a backpack on or a proton pack on, that's why, because the energy source is still there. But for personal sakes, he's going to have the same proton pack on, just to have resemblance to a Ghostbuster. Now, the proton pack did come with the neutrino one. It's too bulky and big to put on the backpack, so for now it's just going to stay off. So that's basically it. I hope this video gave you guys a little bit of insight on the history of Ghostbusters. Because, like I said, believe it or not, there was a cartoon show that came out shortly after the movie was released. And the original concept designs were drastically different from what we actually got from the movie. So I would have loved to see them do like an animated short of what the Ghost Smashers were supposed to be. But who knows? The future is not set, as Doc Brown would say it. So anyway, that's basically it. So let me know what you guys think of these characters. All of these characters will appear in the same video at the same time at some point in the future. But till then, they're just going to be, private collection type crap. But again, let me know what you guys think of these things. If you guys like them, let me know down in the comments below. If you absolutely hate them, let me know down in the comments below. At some point, I will do the Ghostbusters Transformers crossover with these Ghostbusters, not the movie Ghostbusters. Trust me, it'll all make sense when I make the video. The main reason why I haven't done that is because of the firehouse, and you guys know this from a couple videos ago. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys all next time on Ultimate Deadpool. Peace out. You guys are awesome. I'll see you guys all later. Bye.